And welcome back. You're watching VGL 2v2 Season 2. My name is Spectre, and I'm going to be casting for you the second game in a best-of-3 series between Team Haterade and Team DroppingLoads. Now, both of these teams very eager, very excited for a win. They both lost in Week 1, a little devastating there. They've chosen Geosync Quarry for Game 2, and this, of course, was a very crazy map in Week 1. It was very heavily played. It was our predetermined map, and I guess they've decided to revisit it. This is a pretty short map as far as distance is concerned, and with 2 Zergs on the field, you have to kind of wonder how that's going to play out. We see a little bit of words going back and forth. Very talkative this season. You know, Season 1, nobody said a word. It was pretty quiet with the exception of that one outburst we had. And, you know, Season 2, everyone's so talkative all of a sudden. A little bit of crap talk, you know, a few jabs here and there. I mean, you know, everyone for the most part is pretty friendly in the off-season, but competitive edge is a little bit higher, I guess, for some reason, you know. A little bit of miscommunications, you know, makes it interesting. Always nice to see the competitor in someone come out. You know, Diener nicely droning up here, his partner as well. Don't see any gas from either person on Team Haterade. Team Haterade, of course, with the advantage, they can eliminate, well, not eliminate, but you know, defeat Team DroppingLoads if they can win this game and just do a nice clean sweep. That would be a huge pick-me-up. They were able to win one game in Week 1 against Team Flawless, so it did go to Game 3. You know, I can't say it could have gone either way, because if you watch Game 3, you know that it really couldn't have gone either way. But they still were able to get one win. So a sweep here would at least make Week 1 look like, hey, you know, we were a little rusty. We were trying to get stuff together. And now that we've got our act together, you know, this is what we're really capable of. Meanwhile, with Team DroppingLoads, it's just going to be very devastating if they don't get something down. Because Week 1, being such high-placed teams when they were partnered with their previous partners, and to lose Week 1, and then to lose Week 2 in a sweep, you know, people have to start asking questions at that point. You got to sit down at the drawing board and say, hey, what are we doing wrong? What's going on here? And try to get it figured out. Ari going down for an expansion. No expansion yet on Team DroppingLoads. We see double gas going down, though, however, for Crump, as well as his Cybernetic score. And we do see finally a Roach Warren coming down for Satch. Looks like Satch is timing a little bit sharper on this one. We do not see an expansion, though, so it is a 1-base Roach. That is going to be interesting. We see Ari going for a 2-base Roach, so we can see kind of an apples-to-apples comparison here between a 2-base and a 1-base Roach, and we'll see who wins. And for those of you at home who know the answer to that question, don't say anything for everyone else. Let's find out what happens. We see Diener now going down for Warp Gates as well. Looks like pretty mirror play on the Protoss side. Save a Forge here and a Cannon. So far, not too much to report. We do have a Soul Zealot out here. Let's take a look at the income tab. We see income's fairly even. Satch a little bit behind as expected, considering the one base Roach play. And, you know, Harvester's fairly even, of course, for Satch. You know, Satch going for the fast attack, I'm guessing. We do see some Lings out. Hold on. Let me recheck this here. Yes, there is a Roach Warren. Yes, there is gas. And okay, so we have Zerglings. The Roach Warren is just to throw everyone off. It's like, you know, I guess I fell for it. He's not actually building roaches, he's building lings. And here they are. Foreskin has already been shed. They are fast, and first he is showing himself to Ari to let him know, hey, I'm sending lings in. And now here they go. And we do see an early Spore from Ari, as well as a Spine Crawler going down. Unfortunately, it's not going to get there fast enough. And we do see these Lings just rolling in here. They're going to ignore that army. Could have easily taken it out, but he's saying, no, I want a Queen. I want an economic hit. He does not finish off the Queen in time, though. Goes to the expansion, starts to hit a few drones, slap him around. He's taken down a few. He's got both Queens off creep in the open, takes down the Roach. Looks like he's going to go for both Queens. Oh, this is going to be quite a hit on the larva production for Ari. He now sends him in here. He has that lone Spine Crawler. that is getting a little distracted there. He's picking off a few more drones. We also see some zealots coming in here. He's probably not going to take down this spine crawler. No, the spine crawler will stay up, although badly damaged, but managed to snipe both queens. Quite a nice ninja attack there from Satch. Those early lings definitely getting his money's worth. Taking out both of those queens is going to slow down Ari a little bit. His saving grace, of course, is that he did have plenty of larvae before he got hit. At least on one of his bases, he did have to pull workers from the second, so that will definitely slow him down a little bit. And now we see the roaches coming out, albeit more roaches. But he does have roaches coming out now. So it looks like those lings were just the appetizer. The main course is on its way. This may not be enough food, though, only sending 6 roaches out. So far, not a lot of help from Crump here, who is just kind of hanging out. And we do see these rocks going down for this gold here, with a few units. So take a look at that units tab. We do see 2 mothership cores out, a handful of stalkers on the field, up to 8 roaches. However, Ari up to 10 roaches. We do see now the 2 base versus 1 base roach build. Granted, he did build some of these, some of those zerglings to kind of help out, and we do see quite a few more roaches starting to pop out now. So we got to cut him a little bit of slack on that. That early zergling attack did do some damage, sniping those 2 queens. More annoying than anything else, but definitely, you know, got some bang for his buck on that. However, you see Ari, always a very patient man, as starting to drone up this expansion and starting to bounce back a little bit. We do see these roaches now. They are still, I think, still a little slow. But yeah, we still have more roaches on both sides, it looks like. However, we do have... No, we do not have... Oh yeah, we do have the research underway. Satch is going to be speeding up his roaches before the attack. It looks like a Crump going for the greedy gold, as well Satch finally going for a late expansion there. I guess he sacrificed the expansion for the ling attack. I don't know if it was worth delaying an expansion for. Especially when he built these roaches but didn't use them for like a follow-up attack. I don't know if that was a miscommunication with Crump. Maybe he meant to coordinate a follow-up attack with both armies and Crump wasn't ready. Not really sure there. That's going to be one of the mysteries of life. We do see Crump warping in a few zealots with this cleverly placed proxy pylon here. And these zealots going to go ahead and poke in and I guess go to work on this heap of debris that just kind of sitting there. Lots of pinging going on. Lots of pinging. Looks like they have spotted this. This Overlord, of course, very cleverly kind of spotting this army. And we do see army moving on the way to help out these zealots with this rock here. You know, try to show a little bit of neighborly assistance. No, it actually looks like he's going to go ahead and kill these zealots. These roaches pulling back. You have to wonder if they're just both kind of a little... This is such a short map, it's so easy to counterattack. If you overcommit with an army, especially if you get caught in some of these wide open areas, you know, it's very easy to be counterattacked on this map, especially with these, you know, these rocks in the back, not too difficult to break down. They're already half damaged. So it seems like there's a little bit of hesitancy on Haterade. They just, you know, kind of playing it easy. They know they probably have a macro advantage because God knows they macro out of their minds a little bit here. I mean, they're very ahead. We take a look at that income tab, and we see a staggering difference here. You know, actually, it looks fairly staggered between Satch and Ari, both a little behind here. But either way, still, you know, they went for a little bit more of a macro play. Maybe they're just trying to play it safe, not inch up. They do have quite a nice army built up here, and if we take a look at the unit tab, you'll see they do have a little bit of a numerical advantage in the army. We do see the roaches kind of slowed for Satch here. He kind of just stalled at 8. Hasn't really built anything else since then except you know, the expansion, just trying to macro up there. So it looks like they kind of are shifting gears here, trying to macro up and not build any units, which puts them at a disadvantage if they are to be attacked, but there hasn't been a whole lot of scouting going on. We do finally see this observer hanging out here, trying to check out what's going on. We'll see a handful of things going on, but not going to really see too much. You know, he's kind of actually, if he gets one square closer, he might actually get shot by those cannons. So he's fairly close there, but there really isn't much to see. We do see some more pinging going on, a lot of pinging on this team, and looks like he'll be moving that observer around Diener kind of checking it out. Ari definitely taking the quarterback role for this team, kind of directing the action. We do see an expansion about to go down. I don't know if he'll see it in time. It looks like he will not. That observer just skirting away out of the side there. And we do see some action on that Xel'Naga. And it looks like he did capture that base. He did see it warp in. So they are aware of an expansion. And a little bit of a battle here for the Xel'Naga. Those Zerglings should easily claim that. Satch gaining map control. These two Zealots not going to go down as easily. So it looks like Diener will maintain control of this. Oh, I guess not. Just barely outside of the circle of influence for that. So we just kind of sit and wait as the armies build up. We saw this same kind of thing happen last time. It looks like, you know, really with Team Haterade, if you kind of let them sit back and just build up, they are pretty good at building a pretty formidable army going in. And it looks like the second half of this game is going to play out a lot like the first game, where there's just no real attacks, no real pressure being put on, and the map control slowly slipping away from Team DroppingLoads as they just, you know, they don't try to capitalize on any early attacks. Basically, DroppingLoads is playing a macro game that they're just not good at. The macro game just doesn't seem to suit their play style. They seem to do much better when they're attacking aggressively, and you know, they just haven't been doing that. They've just been sitting back trying to outpace the other team, and it's just not working. And now we finally see a rollout here of a significantly larger army, and it looks like they will be going for... Well, doesn't look like they're even sure where they're going. We see quite a bit of Immortals here as well. This is a very scary army right now, and they have not been detected yet. But, oh, they have been detected. The Xel'Naga under control of Satch. They'll go ahead and take care of that. But Satch is aware that a large army is coming. So there should be some... And he's realizing now that these roaches might have been good for the early game. Not so good for the late game. We do see some warp in action here from Crump as he is chasing away... well, I guess Diener's probes are standing and fighting. They refuse to back off. And they will finally take down that Zealot, but these other four are going to be a big problem. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to do that. Finally, a Stalker coming in here, taking out that Warp Prism. To make sure that there's no more uninvited guests. These four Zealots, of course, not with charge, so unfortunately not able to grab this this Stalker here. And finally, these extra Zealots coming in to back up. Very clever play on Diener's part, making sure. You see a little bit of a rollout here. Some Hydralisks going to help out. Unfortunately, not enough. Not enough at all. Gonna need Crump's army to back him up. Crump with quite an army now. Some DTs in there as well. We do not have... we only have this Overlord here. But we do not have... We do have some Overseers here in the back, and they catch them on the ramp. And it looks like they have finally been able to take... It looks like that attack from Crump really saved them. It allowed enough of a delay of this army where they could roll in with a much larger army here. And these hallucinated Colossus, a brilliant move on Crump's part. Really able to sever that army a little bit, just picking off the remnants, taking away that numerical advantage. Very, very clever. And you see them retreating very hastily. Look at this. Never seen such a large army retreating like this. They definitely got caught on that ramp, and the army got split. We do see some reinforcements here, however, to kind of help out. And it looks like they will re-engage now in a much more favorable location. It is now Team Haterade that is being a little bit crimped in here. And these Colossus are not hallucinated, so they will be adding to the fight, and they are just very quickly starting to shred Team Haterade's army, and the retreat paid off. They were able to reinforce the units that they lost and add two Colossus that were definitely not hallucinated, and they were able to kind of shred this army down. Now you see the counterattack kicking in. This is going to be where this map size starts to bite you in the ass, because this counterattack is going to happen very, very quickly as you see this roll in here. And they're going to go ahead and hit this ramp. We see some DTs rolling in here as well, slicing away. We do have a single observer to go ahead and detect those DTs, but it does not look like DroppingLoads has any kind of detection to take out, so it looks like they will very easily... These two Colossus going to add so much to this army right now. Very easily just going to go ahead and shred right through this, and it doesn't even look like they're taking any damage at all. These Corruptors getting totally distracted by Ari's Corruptors, and it looks like Team DroppingLoads just lost a second army in as little as 2 minutes. And this counterattack army here from Haterade just going to go to town now on Crump's base. Crump, of course, has completely mined it out. He has 2 more backing him up, but he lost all his production. It doesn't look like he's really going to be able to get an army fast enough. Satch, of course, made a fatal mistake in week 1 by building units and sending them in one at a time, trying to attack. He has learned from that mistake. He is now building up an enormous roach ball. It will help against these Colossus. It will not help against those Immortals, however. He might also be able to pick off some of these Hydralisks if he has enough. It looks like he's going for the engagement now. He's going to take out quite a few Hydralisks. Those Colossus, though, hitting in here along with those Immortals, and they're just going to shred those roaches. The Orkin man has spoken. And they are now going to town on the rest of Crump's bases here. This is getting very ugly very fast, and it's really all up to Satch to try and stop this from happening, and he just does not have the income or the resources to pull this off. It looks like he may have been fed some minerals and gas there, but he's just not going to have enough larvae to try and take this down. And we take a look, and he just has 10 larvae in Satch's name. It's just not going to be enough. We see more and more troops from Ari pouring in as more Hydralisks join the fight. He's replacing them almost as fast as they've been killed. We do see 2 DTs from Crump going to town on these Immortals. It doesn't look like they have an observer with this section of the army, but those even 2 DTs, it's going to take a while to chew through these. And they are prioritizing, it looks like, the Immortals here. But unfortunately, Satch losing his base and his Hydralisk, then some of his tech with it as well. Infestation pit down, not looking good at all. We see some roaches now rolling in here, trying to take down these Immortals. And it looks like they'll finally clean out the rest of this army, minus Ari's Hydralisks would just seem to be hanging out, taking their turn. This isn't Street Fighter. It's okay to gang up on the guy. You don't have to go one at a time. This isn't, a fight of honor here. Ari finally realizing, oh, that's right, it's a 2v2, sending in his army, taking out the rest of this base, making it look easy. After Diener, of course, lost his entire army fighting off, Crump and Satch's forces. Meanwhile, Ari sending in the rest of his army here, a pack of Chihuahua Lings, as well as a nice, enormous group of Corruptors. Not really sure what they're going to shoot at unless they're coming with cameras to film the action from the sky, because there is absolutely no air targets here for them to shoot. This may be an overreaction from that single hallucinated Colossus. Okay, better safe than sorry, I guess. As they go in here, though, really just not much of a fight. These drones have burrowed themselves head in the sand, literally, as their base is being just completely wiped above them. Not really any other action to report. I mean, expansions all over the place, but not really going to be needed. This game is pretty much all but lost. We do see now some Broodlords morphing in. Just insult to injury at this point. I guess Ari figured he might as well use those Corruptors for something. And going to town now. Some DTs and Zealots. Basically a last stand from Crump. Very bravely going in there, taking out all those Lings, but just way too many Overseers here. Detection is no longer a problem, and we see these Broodlords are just going to mow the lawn here and sweep through all these buildings. We do see more non-hallucinated Colossus rolling in here, cleaning up what's left of Crump's side expansions. Crump with quite a few bases for a man who has been wiped beyond wiped. I mean, they basically took out the 2-ply Charmin for Crump. I mean, they're just not going to miss any spots here, and they are just wiping the floor with what's left of his bases. And really, just kind of a waiting game here. I mean, not really too much. I don't see Crump being able to resurrect the Miracle Army here and save the day. Crump resigning, Satch resigning, victory going to Team Haterade. An amazing victory for them. This is what they've been waiting for all season, to get their start. They're a fresh team. They're rusty. They're getting back into this. They're new as teammates. They're new to the game again, kind of. This was a huge pick-me-up, huge momentum. Not only a victory, but a sweep. That, of course, is gonna definitely boost the egos there going into week 3. The DroppingLoads, on the other hand, crushing defeat. If this had even gone to a game 3 and they lost, at least they could say it could have gone either way. Definitely did not play their game I don't think the problem is skill. I think both of these players, Satch and Crump, very good skill players. I think the issue is there is no quarterback. This is a football team with just 2 running backs. And someone has to take the lead, call the plays, look down the field, and make the moves, and just no one's doing it. And both of these players are used to being paired with very strong personalities that kind of took that leadership role. And one of them's going to have to step up to the plate and call the strategies here. They're going to have to practice a little bit more, take it back to the books, figure out what works. Sitting back playing a macro game, that is just not their style. It's not something that they can succeed at. And week 3 is going to be a big come to Jesus moment for this team, because they're either going to have to get it done or go home. And it's really just going to come down to that. So we'll have to see what happens in week 3. But a big congratulations to Team Haterade finally getting a much needed win, and we'll have to see what happens in week 3 for both of these teams.